Gerald R. Ford is the first in a new class of carriers with more firepower and a smaller crew. The previous class began service in 1975. The Ford was designed to save billions over a 50-year lifespan. Still, the Ford was double the cost of the last carrier built, and it's been plagued with unexpected costs and delays. Just unclogging the toilets can cost $400,000. We went aboard the USS Ford to find out why America's most advanced aircraft carrier still can't be deployed nearly 2 decades after plans to build it began. Technologies that make the USS Ford cutting edge and one big floating experiment. Tal Manville is a retired Navy captain who served as the very first project manager on this new class of aircraft carrier.
The ship was supposed to start construction in '04. It got moved to '05. They made an adjustment. They delayed it a second time. They delayed it a third time. Pushing that out, the ship, just by those delays, went from $6.4 billion to $10 billion.
The Ford is the first of 4 new carriers already in different stages of design and build. The Navy plans to replace the entire supercarrier fleet with Fords. U.S. law requires its Navy to operate 11 carriers at all times, but with all the delays, the U.S. is down to 10.
The reason we have 11 is driven by the fact that the U.S. Navy is kind of a 2-ocean Navy, if you will.
Of the 22 aircraft carriers in the world, half are American, while China, Italy, and the UK have just 2 each.
This carrier class, if we build 10 or 11 or 12, could go easily into the 22nd century.
More than 5,000 shipbuilders worked an estimated 49 million hours to build the Ford. That's 7 times the hours logged building the Empire State Building. Admiral Mike Gilday, the chief of naval operations, said it was a mistake to introduce more than maybe 1 or 2 technologies on any complex platform at a time.
Admiral Gilday is right. What you want to do is only do 1 or 2 new technologies on a new ship. And here's the reason why. Ships are the only weapon that the prototype, the first of the class, goes to war on.
The ship was christened in 2013. The Navy accepted delivery of the ship in 2017 without everything working as a way to stay under that year's budget requirements. 4 years later, and the Navy was still carrying out final tests ahead of the Ford's first full deployment. So it can go to sea, pilots can take off and land, but the problems are still being ironed out before it's ready to go to war.
It's pretty clear that putting this many new technologies onto one ship was a mistake from a program management perspective, because it did cause the program to be delayed.
Flying drones and F-35s.
Oddly enough, the new launch system can't handle the newest fighter plane, so the Ford will need a retrofit to handle the F-35 stealth fighter. The next Ford-class carrier is under construction in the shipyard, but it's already being modified for the F-35 at an added cost of $315 million. Many of the Ford's delays can be traced back to politics. 5 American presidents over 2 decades weighed in on the planning and building of the Ford.
The Department of Defense made the aircraft carrier program far more expensive than it needed to be. And you can take that to the bank.
So far, the true cost of building this warhorse is $13.3 billion, a number that's increased nearly every year since construction began. Even the most basic of onboard functions can be eye-wateringly expensive. The ship has 750 toilets connected through vacuum pressure, like the system on commercial jets. When one toilet gets clogged, the whole system can be affected. The fix requires an acid flush that costs $400,000, and the Navy has said it doesn't know how often it will need to be done.
And here, of course, is the new weapon you ordered.
No. I said dart gun, not...
Okay. Oh, yes, because I was wondering under what circumstances would we use this. But anyway,